And we are up. What's going on, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this the Daily Go Getterism show. How y'all feeling tonight? Hope y'all feeling like real men and women should on this Throwback Thursday. This Let's Get Real About Relationships Thursday. We got something hot we're gonna talk about tonight. Something that we might talk about on a regular basis, matter of factly, in passing. We just kind of chatted up about it. Tonight we're talking about the height difference between couples, the height difference between men and women. What do y'all think? The height difference. Are men or should men always be taller than their woman? Well, it sounds feasible. It sounds like something that we're probably used to. And when you start really going into it, we probably tap into our childhood perceptions of what dominance is supposed to be about what assertiveness is supposed to be about what authority is supposed to be about. When we're children, people who are taller than us have a big impact on our lives. It's like the David and Goliath sort of thing, even if we're not in competition with somebody. We associate people who are adults and people who are grown, people who are in authority, as being older than us. If you're taller than me, more than likely you're older than me. Think about it. When you're a child, a lot of times that's true. you know a third grader is never supposed to be as tall as a sixth grader, even though there are times when a third grader might be as tall or taller than a sixth grader. Everybody grows at their own pace. But when we think about what an older person is supposed to look like, and what a person who is an authority is supposed to look like, we normally think about height. So what about when we're in relationships? What about when we're in marriages? What about when we are hooking up as men and women? We're talking about heterosexuality right now. We're talking about the good old days when it was man and woman, when it was pink and blue, when it was me and you, when everybody co-signed us. Nobody threw us under the bus. I was taller than my girl, had her under my wing, and you know that she was my world, and we're doing our thing. And I knew that I was the king, and she treated me so, and you know how it go. And I was taller than her, and it did occur that she respected that and never rejected at me, and made sure that we was good and everything, and everybody was quite understood. So what do y'all think? Nowadays, I know I see a lot on social media. I see, women clowning men who are under 6 feet tall, even if the women are under 6 feet tall. And I think that for the most part, we expect most women to be under 6 feet tall. A woman who is over 6 feet tall is exceptionally tall. Exceptionally tall. A man who is 5 foot 10 inches is not really considered tall. It's not considered tall at all. But a woman who is 5 foot 10 inches, we like, wow, got me a kind of an Amazon. What the hell's going on here, my dear? Um, could it be that not only do we associate height with authority, strength, athleticism, um, respectfulness, or respectability? Is it possible that we also associate height when with beauty or handsomeness? There are a lot of people who consider tall women to be very beautiful, and there are a lot of people who may not accept that as being directly associated with beauty. It's sort of like, all right, if she's tall, well, hold on, let me get some eyes on her. Let's see how tall she is, and let's see what else she has going on besides the height. So a woman who is tall may come under some fire, or may come under scrutiny more than a man who is tall. Of course, a lot of men who are tall have to deal with the expectance that they will play sports, particularly basketball, especially if you black. you tall and black and you don't run no ball, it's almost like a waste. So we kind of conditioned to look at it that way, which is a little ill. It's kind of messed up because do we think that tall black men have nothing to bring to the table besides the ability to play basketball? Does a tall black man have no way out of poverty besides basketball? Word to Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. Word to Montel Jordan. I mean, it's Throwback Thursday, right? La da 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 da. This is how we do it. I do believe that Montel Jordan played basketball at a certain time in his life, but the man is 6'8" tall, and he made his fortune singing. Montel Jordan was a very good writer. He made very good songs. He was not a one-hit wonder, that Montel Jordan. 6'8". I mean, he taller than most people. 6'8". Can you imagine the challenges that they had when shooting his music videos? But okay, so anyway, and I say the challenges that they had shooting music videos because in the movie world, they kind of want all of the characters to be around the same height. They don't really like height advantages when it comes to characters on film. It presents challenges, and often the person shooting the movies aren't that tall either. Height is something that's compromised often in Hollywood. So you see these characters on screen and you be thinking that they tall, and you see them in real life, you be like, yo, all of these cats are short. But anyway, the height difference between couples. Does it make a difference if a woman is taller than her man? Does society coach that differently? Does it look at that differently? Does it judge it differently? Is a man who is shorter than a woman able to control his woman? And yes, we talking about control, because although we don't like to use the word control, we do not like to use the word control when it comes to our relationships or our personal, or our sense of personal power. Like, I ain't nobody going to control me. Ain't nobody going to tell me what to do. But could it be that subliminally we expect for a man to be taller than his woman? Or we think that outside of being able to play mind games with his woman and being abusive to his woman, he ain't going to be able to get no respect from his woman. He ain't going to be able to control her. He ain't going to be able to get her to cook and clean for him and talk to him nice and all of that kind of stuff if she's mad taller than him. And don't let her be taller than him and bigger than him and perceptibly stronger than him. We've all seen it. We've all seen the dude who was short and pipsqueak like, you know what I mean, mismatched with this big John. And it did kind of seem, in a lot of cases, it kind of seemed like she was running things. Well, that's what we talk about tonight on the Daily Go Get Mism show. So what y'all think? The height difference between couples, does it matter? Does it matter to you, or does it matter to me? It doesn't matter to society. Is that the way it be? Is that the way it go? Or does it show? When your man is smaller than the woman, do you know that he can still be dominant, but he might have the Napoleon complex? What I'm talking about, Napoleon complex. Speaking of the Napoleon complex, I know people, people who have displayed the Napoleon complex. The Napoleon complex. Yeah. The Napoleon complex is named after Napoleon Bonaparte, who was supposed to be a very short man who was not the king of France, but he was sort of like the emperor of France, the president of France, definitely the ruler of France. And uh, Napoleon was instrumental in shaping the governments of the world. He took over many territories in the United States, or should I say, the Americas, the Caribbean, Africa. You know, I don't know about Asia, but you know, uh, we all know the history of France, the history of um, French rule. I don't know if we know it as well as we do um, English rule, but we definitely know something about French rule in this country. A large section of this country was acquired through France, particularly Napoleon Bonaparte, and that was the Louisiana Purchase. So if you haven't studied history, you think that the Louisiana Purchase is just the state of Louisiana. Oh no. Oh no, from Louisiana all the way up to Minnesota, baby. A lot of the whole Midwest basically was part of the Louisiana Purchase. Napoleon himself, as well as he is portrayed as a very dominant, overbearing type of soul associated with trying to overcompensate for his lack in height, wasn't really all that short. We be thinking like this dude must have been like a midget. Napoleon was about 5'7" tall. Now, I ain't saying that that's tall, but when we think about somebody who is really short and definitely going to be shorter than most women, it's like, at 5'7", you're going to still be taller than a lot of average height women. What we be talking about? Woman 5'5", thick in the thighs. How tall was Napoleon Bonaparte? Oh, 5'6" tall. He was 5'6". My bad. 5'6". So yeah, he was short. But we've known shorter. So look at this. It says the question is, why was Napoleon called short? And it says Napoleon was of average height, but his battle strategies may have earned him a reputation for being short. Apparently, Napoleon preferred to surround himself with very tall soldiers, and these members of his personal guard made him look short statured in comparison. So, and you know what? This makes sense. Now, a lot of Europeans, depending on what European country you come from, they ain't known for being tall. Them Italians, they don't be tall. Italians are not tall. The Greeks are never tall. They English. The English are normally, those men are kind of tall. The in the Netherlands, aka Holland, the men and the women are tall and blonde, real trap, tall. And since we talking about it, hold on, let me see how tall Adolf Hitler was. How tall was Adolf Hitler? Adolf Hitler is 5'9" tall. 5'9". This is getting interesting. No, this is getting interesting. Adolf Hitler, 5'9". Definitely average height. For some people, they might look at this. Benito Mussolini, 5'7". Trilateral commission. Benito Mussolini, 5'7". So yeah, in Europe, it's not uncommon to be under 6 feet. If you look at the doorways in the United States, you'll notice that most of the doorways in the colonial times, in the real early historical buildings, in the United States, you'll see that the doorways that you walk through are very low. It's because those guys that settled here were not tall. It's not what they were known for. Let me see how tall Idi Amin was. How tall was Idi Amin? Idi Amin is 6 feet 4 inches tall. This man was 6'4". Muammar Gaddafi, 6 feet tall. Pol Pot of Cambodian rule, 5'9". Well, no wonder they was hating on Idi Amin. This man was a beast. Big towering, big ass African nigga. Big African nigga. All right. So, okay. The height difference between men and women. So, all right, y'all ready to talk? Are y'all ready to talk? Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. And this is daily, the Daily Go Getimism show. We do this every single day. Every day it rains. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the. Well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Daily Go Getimism show. All up in your area. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Tonight on the Daily Go Getimism show, I said the Daily Go Getimism show. We are talking about the height difference between men and women, the height difference between couples. Does it matter if your man is taller than your woman? Is that the way it has to be? Is that the way it's supposed to be? Is that the way that you were taught that it should be? If your woman is taller than your man, does it mean that she won't respect the man? Well, it could be true, but it doesn't work for me, but maybe it works for you. It doesn't really matter if he's not that tall and she's kind of tall. Above all, tallest one in the class, always had to stand in the back. You know what I'm talking about. You know how I act. What up, y'all? My people. People. T. Carey Wright, morning, noon, and night. What's going on? And also Stacey White and Carol Chamberlain. How y'all feeling? So let me see what y'all think about this topic tonight. Does a man have to be taller than a woman? Or if you are a woman, have you insisted that the man that you choose be taller than you? Do you think that more people respect a relationship or a union between a man and a woman when the man is taller than the woman? The internet says that all men under 6 feet tall have a Napoleon complex. Like, we all short. I'm 5'10", not a man among men. That's what the internet says. Oh, internet, you're done it again. Stacey White says no more short men from me. And yes, it does matter. Loud and clear. Okay. Well, there you have it. Stacey also says, okay. Oh, you wrote that twice. Okay. Stacey also says, I'm glad I'm not short. What my mother and my grandmother was short. Okay. T. Carey Wright says 5'11" here. It was hard growing up a tall girl. I hear that. And it's funny because we think like, what was so hard about it? And it kind of shows you what the societal pressures are put upon different sexes. what our expectations are. It could be that we just expect women to be shorter than men. Like that's just the way we think it should be. We just think it's right, even though it don't have nothing to do with nothing. But it is what it is. But it comes from somewhere, and we're gonna get into it. Carol Chamberlain says, if you have to drive to succeed, if you have the drive to succeed, you can do anything you want, regardless of your physical attributes. That's what sounds good. Okay. Carol says society does judge it differently. Stacy is 5'7". That could be that could be considered tall for a girl, if that's what you're saying. Um, TK Wright says there's a perception of power and control when it comes to height. There really is. And we can talk about it all day. It ain't going to change it tonight. There is definitely an association with power, control, just like Carrie said. And also beauty. It's true. Look at most of the fashion models. We look at fashion models as being tall and thin. All fashion models are not tall, but they are all made to look tall. Am I lying? What's interesting is that male fashion models are not. They're not filmed as tall. It's weird. When you see male models in person, they are not usually tall, especially if you're talking about physical. Well, if you're talking about health and fitness models for men, those guys are not normally tall. They're normally short because when you're shorter, the muscles be looking more defined, and you be looking more cut and all of that. You find out, oh man, this boy ain't all that cut. He's running around here, cut like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart looks like he's very much in shape, but you realize, like, oh, it ain't much to have in shape at that height. You know what I'm saying? And that's not taken away from anything, but there's a definite difference in the prejudice when it comes to male models and female models. Female fashion models look tall. They are filmed to look tall. There have been many young girls who thought they couldn't be fashion models because they weren't tall and they weren't thin. And normally for fashion models, they want you to have the perception of both being tall and thin. So I think beauty has something to do with the advantage of height. Does that creep into our bedrooms? Does it creep into our living rooms? Does it creep into our children's rooms? Are we teaching this by default, not even realizing it? Carol Chamberlain says, I used to date only guys 6 feet or taller, but as I matured, I realized height doesn't make a man a better man. Interesting. But even with that, Carol, damn, you like what you like. And I'm not the one to front on that. I mean, whether you consider taller men to be more more in control, more dominant, or whatever, if you like the way they look, you like the way they look. And if your first line of attraction is height or something like that, I don't see anything wrong with that. Not in that way, If you like what you like, you like what you like. Uh, so there's something to talk about here. TK Wright says my ex-boyfriend is 5'6" or 5'7", 5'6" and 5'7", but he's built. So usually no one thought that I ran things. Not usually. 5'6", 5'7", but built. Need I say more? I mean, it's true. Taller men don't normally not they don't get the same type of muscle definition. They don't look cut the same way as shorter guys do, especially on film. But hey, you know, you like what you like. But it's interesting that T. Carey Wright says my ex-boyfriend, my ex-husband. My bad. What did I say? You said he's 5'6". So what is he, 5'6" or 5'7", or he's between 5'6" and 5'7"? But he's built, so no one thought that I ran things. Not usually. That's interesting. I wonder, did he have the Napoleon complex? Is that why nobody thought you ran him? Because he ran and ran. Is it possible that he ran around trying to dominate other people because he was trying to compensate for his height? And I'm not judging. I'm asking. I'm just asking because it's a plausible explanation based on things that we've seen or experiences that we may have had concerning something like this. Carol Chamberlain said, "Taki, my ex-husband was 6'1", and he thought he ran things up until I up and left." I mean, but Carol, is it possible that he ran things up until you left? I mean, not just you. You know, everything has its time. Everything has its time. But do we give taller people, do we kind of put the scepter in their hands? Like, you're the tallest, so go ahead. We basically want to put the basketball in your hands. You can push the rock up the floor. But I'm not a point guard. So what? You get to be center. Well, why am I pushing the ball up the floor if I'm a center? Look, the ball is in your hand, sir. Speaking of basketball, oh my God, the Sixers got done so dirty last night by the Celtics. Oh, it was so nasty. That was disgusting. So the series is tied at 1-1. All right. TK Wright says, Carol, I dated short and tall guys, and I found tall guys to be lazy. Interesting. The shorter guys were more active in order to make up for the height difference. God damn, this is crazy. This is crazy. Carol says, I don't think I've ever dated anyone shorter than me. I have dated my own height and just a tad taller than me. Okay. TK, right? Says, growing up, the tall guys loved short girls. It's an actual fact. I was 5 feet tall in the fourth grade. That's tall for fourth grade. It is. That is definitely tall. TK Wright says, what was hard is that everyone was shorter and acted like you were drinking milk produced by Athena. The parts weren't always long enough. The pants. I'm sorry. The pants weren't always long enough for tall girls. Plus, I'm thick. Shaking my head. Yeah, struggle. The struggle is real. You struggle. Stacey White says we don't like it. I have to remember what I was talking about at that time. Oh, TK Wright is confused too. We don't like what, Stacy? Okay. T. Carey Wright says, Carol, life is good when the guy comes up to your chest. What the hell? Oh, Stacy says the word control in a relationship. Oh, okay. All right. TK Wright says, yes, he does have the Napoleon complex. He likes to, he likes to, I don't know if this word got cut off, but I guess this is saying that he likes to, oh, okay, prove. Okay. All right. He likes to prove that he's stronger and smarter. Stronger. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna front. Tall guys I've known tall guys to be pretty strong, even if they weren't, very muscular. But when they were very muscular, they'd be pretty strong. I'm sure the guys they be having big bulging muscles, but I don't know. I guess I'd be like, yo, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Like, okay, you're a big bodybuilder and all of that, but we don't necessarily think that you could knock anybody out. Like, you all big and all of that, but no way you're going to be. Look, you don't see boxers built that way ever. Like Mike Tyson looked like the most big. He looked beastly at the time. At the time he was in his prime, but they don't encourage you to be all big and cut and muscle bound as a boxer. That's not. But I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Carol Chamberlain says, no, he didn't. No, Omar, he didn't. So he didn't dominate in other areas of his life, Carol. Okay. Carol said, thinking about Spud Webb. Spud Webb was a 5'7" guard in the National Basketball League in the 1980s. And it was amazing how that man could dunk that damn ball. Spud Webb. He's not like a Hall of Fame or anything like that, but he was sort of like a circus sideshow. Like, how was somebody 5'7" tall, making it into the NBA, number one, and then number two was able to dunk? T. Carey Wright says, my ex-husband can bench 335 pounds. That is pretty strong, but not compared to somebody who could bench press 400 pounds, which is normally the biggest bragging right. Like, yo, I'm benching 400. Most people can, and well, I'm about to tell a lie. I was about to say most people can bench 300 pounds. Well, that's not true. But most people who lift weights and are into bodybuilding can easily lift 300. I mean, bench press 300 pounds. But when you get up into the fours, now we into another tax bracket. So, midgets normally look very muscular, but don't worry. They're strong for their height. Just say. TK Wright says no fighting, but can lift heavy weights. And the powerhouse too. Spud. Mm-hmm. He was, he was interesting. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel yet. All right. So we're talking about the height difference between couples. Does it matter? And I think that for a lot of people, it does matter. It may not matter as much when you get older. More more wise and more experienced. But I think growing up, I think that we are conditioned to respect height, to value height, and to perceive that a man should be taller than a woman in a relationship. And when we see it, when we see a violation in that concept, it probably makes us more interested in seeing what's going on here. Can a man control his woman if he's shorter than his woman? Can he do it? Surely, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Surely, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, my? How you feeling? Can a man control his woman if he's shorter than her without being overbearing, without having the Napoleon complex? Can he be respected straight up and down? What would he have to do in order to get his woman to do what he wanted to do, what he needed to do, what needs to be done? We talking, y'all. Ain't we? Ain't we talking? Ain't we talking now? We just we kicking some things around, trying to figure out what's what. You know, tall men. Are we? Do we expect in a relationship between when a man is taller than his woman? Do we expect that man to be a better provider? Is that one thing that we expect for taller men to be? Do we have we been conditioned to believe that taller men are better providers than shorter men? Let me ask y'all this, since we're talking about power and respect on some level. As far as owning businesses are controlled, as far as owning businesses are concerned, do we expect for our bosses or our employers to be taller, shorter, or average height? Think about the people you have worked under, whether they were just your supervisors, managers, or the owners of the businesses that you work for. If they were men, what's their height like? What's your height like when you're on the mic? Sucker MCs don't bite. Are taller men perceptibly better providers? Or is that something where shorter men seem to hold the crown? Are shorter men more go-getters when it comes to business? And are they compensating for their lack of height in some way? Do they have to be the money man because they can't be the taller man or the manlier man as far as what society expects from them? And I'm not saying that that is true, but has this been our experience? Has our conditioning matched our Yamin? Yeah. Has our conditioning matched our Yamin? Well, has it? Has it? Look at this. Michael Strahan's ex-wife wants more money despite getting 15.3 million and 18,000 per month. Well, it says ain't no fun when the ex puts the strap on. Uh-huh. Well. So that means that people believe that Michael Strahan, those little gay rumors, they believe that it's true. I don't know. I know I'd be lying if I said that I didn't believe it. I'm like, if he ain't gay, He might just be a little soft. He definitely for for a defensive lineman. I don't know. He just seemed a little. Yeah, I mean, he might be a little. Definitely a little cream and extra sugar in that coffee. A little bit. A little bit. All right. Carol Chamberlain says, if she lets him or fears him, then yes. Shout out to all my pollen sufferers out there. If you've been having a hard time this spring, if you've been having a hard time this spring, holla at me. You know what I mean? Let me know. Let me know what in the flonase is going on here. All right, y'all. The height difference between couples, does it matter? Can a woman respect a man who's shorter than her? Will she respect his mind? Will she respect his voice? Will she respect his presence? Will she give him a hard time? Bless all of you too. Bless each and every one of you. And Carol says, allergies have been bad. And Cheryl says, God bless you. That's me too. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Woo! And you see the pollen that's on these cars. I'm like, yo, I think the government that looks like more than just pollen, man. I'm like, they got something in the air. We out there breathe. We need a whole black light. We need a whole black light outside to see what it is we're breathing in. Because something tells me that we might not be all that safe. We might not be all that safe right now. C. Carey Wright says, for many women, it matters, younger and older women. All right, so what do y'all think about the women, like the women on the internet that really, give men that are under 6 feet a hard time? You know what I'm saying? Like, now the woman that might be saying it might be only, I don't know, they might be under 5 feet, 5 tall. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're like 5'2", and you like, yo, you don't say nothing. Don't say nothing to me if you're under 6 feet, because you're unworthy, my brother. I don't know. Carol Chamberlain, thank you for the super chat. And she says, just because. Well, I want to thank you for that super chat. Hola, Salima. Hola, Salima. Appreciate me some you. Oh, man. Hold on. Now, I found this article by Hillary Brueck, and it's dated for April 16th, 2018. And it's giving some information about, well, the title of the article is called Women Often Say They Prefer Taller Men, but the reality is more complicated. Now it says some of the bullet points here are that men are an average of about 5 inches taller than women. And I guess that's just by birth, naturally. And it says scientific studies suggest that while women might say they have a preference for taller male partners, actual height differences in heterosexual couples aren't as wide as stated height preferences. And it also says shorter men do tend to carry Shorter men do tend to marry younger and lower educated women. And psychologists think that might be because they're compensating for their shortness. I'm going to read that again. Shorter men do tend to marry younger and lower educated women. And psychologists think that might be because they're compensating for their shortness. We might want to talk about that one because I honestly, that's not a slam dunk for me. I'm trying to figure out what. All right, well, if they're younger than you, maybe you feel like you can dominate them because you may have more wisdom and experience than they do. But the lower educated women, interesting. You know, from what I know, just because a lot of people don't know nothing doesn't make them submissive. As a matter of fact, in my experience, the dummies be trying to be the dominant ones. What y'all know? Let me see. Okay. So it says the average American woman standing at just over 5'3" inches tall is around 5.5 inches shorter than the average American man. It's a height difference that holds true in most places around the world, from Brazil to China. Men tend to universally level off around 5 inches taller than women as fully grown adults. Still, the science of what constitutes the perfect height difference for a modern heterosexual couple is far from settled. Women say that they prefer tall men. You have a picture of Shaq standing there with saying he used to date 5'2" Nicole Alexander. Now y'all know Shaq is about 7 inches tall. I mean 7 foot tall. What was it? What was Shaq? 7 foot 2 or something like that? He wasn't the tallest, but he was ridiculously tall. So for him to be dating somebody that's 5'2", and all right, she has heels on in this photo. Well, yeah, that's hmm. Social scientists who study online dating platforms find that when you're dating online, your height can alter your chances of finding love. Well, ain't that something? Researchers consistently find that women will say that they prefer taller men online, and the taller women are, the more the taller and the taller women are, the more important they say it is that their partner be even taller. Men, likewise, tend to rate shorter women as more attractive. One 2005 study found that those preferences can play out in how often people approach each other online. Women who were 6'3" received 40% fewer messages than women who were a more average 5'5", while men who were 6'3" and 6'4" got about 60% more messages than men who were 5'7" or 5'8". This is making sense to me. Polish scientists, a Polish scientist. Okay, anyway, Polish scientists have shown that male and female preferences for a height difference, known scientifically as sexual dimorphism, change based on how tall they are, perhaps so that people can widen their own dating pool. But there are signs that these stated height preferences are a result of societal expectations, not evolutionary biases. Perceptions of the right height for a couple may be largely rooted in cultural expectations. One 2014 study in the Journal of Family Issues found through online surveys that daters were not always able to articulate a clear reason why they possessed their given height preference, but they somehow understood what was expected of them from the larger society. Adding more evidence to the pile, a 2013 study found that while short women and tall men might say they prefer sexually dimorphic pairings, their actual choices for mates didn't necessarily stick to such a strict criteria. And most men dating on eHarmony said they wanted a partner that was close to their own height, as 35, I'm sorry, as 538 reported. Okay, there's more to the article. And shoot, I would put the article in the comments. Is there a way I can? There might be a way I can share this. Let me see. I'm gonna shut and then go to the show and join y'all in the comments. And here we go. Boom. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? Ha ha. Look at me. I'm fly. I'm watching me. I'm gonna make my own views go up. All right. So y'all can check that article out. That's a good look. You like this show. Shouldn't my view have gone up one? You know what I mean? Okay, anyway, so yeah, y'all can check that article out. It seems like a pretty interesting article, like T. Carey Wright says. There's some I've read a lot of it before I started the show, and I was like, interesting and also relatable, because it was saying a lot that I was actually thinking. Carol says might be some bionic allergies. I'm telling you, man, they got some. The air we breathe ain't safe. It ain't safe out here. TK Wright says, I think that is ridiculous, honestly. At one point, they value the person's character over the height. TK Wright says, I haven't seen evidence of that. The younger part, yeah, but not the less educated. Yeah. Yeah, the less educated thing. Like, hmm. It could be that when you start to think about it, like, okay, if you pick a dummy to be with, maybe you think that you can dominate them because they don't know that much. So maybe even though your game might not be that strong, because they are less educated, they won't be able to figure you out or figure things out. And I don't think that that's true, because in education, if you're talking about an education in school, an education in school might not give you the smarts to be able to outsmart people on the street. There's a difference between street smarts and book smarts. And book smarts can translate over into you being smart on the street, but not before you get kicked around, jerked, maybe even murked out there. You know what I mean? It's a whole different game. And there's a difference between being school educated and being intelligent. Your intelligence is your ability to learn. Your education is your opportunity to learn. Ooh, did you hear what I just said? I think I might have just dropped the gem, but I'm not sure. What do y'all think of them? Your intelligence is your ability to learn. Your education has been your opportunity to learn. Ooh, ladies first, ladies first. Ooh, ladies first, ladies first. Y'all got me going back to the other day when I was talking about Latifah. I made sure that I was mad about that again today. But yeah, man. The height difference between couples. I wonder, and I was hoping I would be able to find some information about how long marriages or relationships have been able to stand the test of time. between couples where the man was taller than the woman, or is there some evidence to suggest that when the woman is taller, the relationship is stronger? I wonder. Wonder who. I'll probably find some information about that later on, but not today. Not today, not today. Not today, not today, not today. By the way, I appreciate y'all coming through tonight on this Throwback Thursday. Y'all could have been anywhere out there in the world, but y'all chose to be here, and I appreciate me some you. Y'all doing it there. I appreciate me some you. You know how we are. You know how we do. Yeah, I wonder if there is some evidence out there that when women are taller than men in marriage, that the marriage is actually stronger. Or is it possible that when the woman is more dominant in the marriage, that the marriage is stronger or lasts longer? I wonder. And that would depend on what we consider dominance to be too, right? You think? What you think? What you think? So T. Carey Wright says she agrees that shorter men might choose women who are younger. That's interesting. Younger. So you can't be a short dude and be like, yo, man, let me get me an old head. I need me a cougar. Let me ask y'all this, if y'all know anything about it. If you know any male sugar babies, any male cubs, as the cougars call them, are the male cubs normally taller or shorter? And you know what? I think that from the male sugar babies that I've seen, they've been taller. Young men, young taller men seem to have a thing for older women. Am I tripping? Yo, let me know. Let me know. Jog through y'all memory. If y'all know any men, any young men who target, go after, or are attracted to older women, are they normally taller or shorter? From the ones that you can remember, the ones that you know. I think, you know what? Hold on. There might be something to that, y'all. That might be. I know from my experience, them younger, those male cubs who like older women, they be taller. Let me find out. that the taller young boys are the ones that are getting all of the PlayStation 5s in the Timberland. What y'all know? Huh? What do y'all know? I know this. We got to get ready to pack up. And get on up out of here. So let's do these birthday shout. Let's do these birthday shout. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 4th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one. I said number one out the box. Unspeakable joy. Happy birthday to you. And also Sage Marie Blue turning 52. Happy birthday to you. And also Tanisha Salmon, or she might pronounce Salmon. Happy birthday to you. And Katiana Desir turning 32 years old today. And Emmanuel Stephanie Eno Obong. Happy birthday to you. And last but not least, an internet anomaly. I don't know if this is his real birthday. I know this isn't his real name, but he's a good dude. And I'm talking about my man Dixon Caterberry. Dixon Caterberry. Happy birthday to you, my brother. I want to say happy birthday to all y'all, and anybody else who shares this birthday on this glorious, glorious, glorious May 4th. I hope that the day finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, the rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing, you do your thing. Y'all represent the queens and kings, do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, yo, check it out. Listen what it's all about. Sometimes you're going to be taller, sometimes you're going to be shorter, but does it mean in heterosexual your order needs to be that the man is taller than the lady? But I'm going to ask no ifs, ands, or maybe. It might be crazy to think that a woman can be taller than her man and still be happy and grand. 100 grand, 100 stand on y'all. You're taller than your man, but it's better. And those people don't know what y'all two have got, but y'all got a lot. And this is the shot. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I would think that at our age that we are right now, we would probably choose based on what our real attractiveness is and what the more reaffirming and reinforcing qualities of a person are. Going for the long term, going for the long haul. But of course, variety is the spice of life, and not everybody is going to choose the same way, which is actually a good thing, in my opinion. But if it is the fact that the man is supposed to be taller than the woman, well, some of y'all out here violating. Why y'all out here violating? Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. If I love the girl, who cares what you like? I said Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. If I love the girl, who cares what you like? I said Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. If I love the girl, who cares who you said? Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. If I love the girl, who cares who you like? I said Ronald, Richard, Robert, and Michael. All right. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. Make sure that y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We will be back tomorrow night for another daily Go Get 'Emism show. So y'all hold tight and definitely come through tomorrow. I hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. So with that being said, I said Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how doobers. Thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. See you on the other side, my boobers. See you on the other side, my boobers. Peace, y'all.